Hello, my beautiful motorheads. Welcome to Feroz, where we inspire you to live fiercely. I'm your host, Anik Magat. Today's guest is Motorgrrl from Brooklyn, New York. Motorgrrl is a community garage that is owned by Valerie Figarella, and she joins us today to talk about what it takes to run a garage and have a successful business in the city. What made you decide to do a motorcycle garage?
Well, back in the day of pre 2004, I needed to work on my bike, like doing oil changes, doing brake changes, fluid changes, and upgrades, like a muffler upgrade, etc. So I didn't really have anywhere to work on it. So you kind of worked on the street, and then you take your old oil to the local tire guy, or if you needed your battery like charged, you go to the tire guy and be like, "Hey, send me battery," and beg for help and pay them something, tip them something so they can totally help you out. So I was like, wow, wouldn't it be great if? And then I found this shop where Indian Larry used to park his bike,
Oh, yeah.
and right around the corner from me, and his wife, which was a good friend of mine, Bambi, um, sort of like was like, "Hey, you should join this garage." And so I did, and then it was great. But the guy there didn't really let you work on stuff, and you'd have to like really ask permission and, kind of like beg him to let you work on the bike. So I was like, "Well, wouldn't it be great if?" And I, was like, if we can have a place where because I needed to learn, still
Yeah.
need to
This
learn.
was in Brooklyn,
This was
right?
this was in Manhattan. I grew
Oh,
up in
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I grew up in Manhattan, and at the time, Indian Larry lived in Manhattan with
Okay.
his wife and Bambi, and then and so I was like, well, maybe I could work for Indian Larry. And so he was like, "Well, do you know how to weld?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "Well, talk to me when you know how to weld." And so I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Well, let me just continue with this idea that I have of like, fostering a sense of community where you can find people to ride with, maybe your partner for life, or a place where we could share tools, dispose of it properly, the fluids and stuff like that, and a place to share tools, and I guess I said that already, but share knowledge, and just have a place where you don't have to deal with the outdoor elements of dogs and vandals and hooligans and people telling you their life story of, wow, when I had a bike, and
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah.
like, you'd be like, "Oh my God, really? Seriously?" And then like just running back and forth up to your 4th flight apartment because you forgot something, or you need to go to the bathroom, or whatever the case may be. So I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we could have something where we share and we learn together, and we can go riding and we can do fun things, and so that's basically how Motorgrrl started. I kind of shopped it around in Manhattan, and all the realtors were like, "Come on in. I want to hear your idea." And I was like, "Okay, but you're not going to really get it." But
Mhm.
okay, and so they didn't get it, even though they wanted to sort of steal the idea and be like, "Oh, well, this is a nobody," because I literally was a nobody. And they were like, "Okay, well, what's your idea? Maybe I could roll with it or partner up with you." Or I would have probably preferred to partner up with somebody rather than learning everything on my by myself, because there was no book that said, "Hey, this is how to open a community garage." I sort of set the pace, set the standard, set the bar, and nobody really gave me that opportunity in Manhattan, despite them not being able to see the vision. So I couldn't get a lease, so I couldn't do proof of concept. So in Brooklyn, somebody sent me something that there was this couple, this married couple, who were like renting something and they didn't want a lease. And I was like, perfect. So I go there and they give me the opportunity. I go and I put some lines in. I get kind of to come in, and it was like maybe a 3 to 5 car garage, and it had 3 bay doors, and it was cold in there. There was no heat. So I had to like really come up with crazy solutions. And, there was no electricity. So I had to have electricity. I had lights, and I had to have some sort of like heating and electrical system. So I got the people to agree to let me put in and have Con Edison come in. But the short of cost was is that I would get a couple months free for doing this. And
Right.
so they agreed, so they were really sort of helpful to me, and they saw that I was a young person with a vision, kind of like reminded them of themselves back when they needed a sort of helping hand. And so, I started with, at this point, I'm behind the eight ball because you need a logo, you need business cards, you don't have it. You kind of just have your name on a napkin of what it's going to be called. And you finally create a logo and you create a flyer and you pass out these flyers all over town, and nobody comes to your grand opening. But people trickle in little by little to be like, what's going on over there? What's going on over there? What is she doing? And so little by little, people were like, oh, yeah, I could store my bike indoor. I could check my tire pressure. Oh, and by the way, can you get this done? Can you do this? So people would ask me to help them out with repairs or transportation of a vehicle, or can I get them this? And I wasn't the type to say no. So I was like, okay, yeah, whatever you need, you let me know. So little by little, it evolved to being a full service shop, inspection station, parts and accessories, and the community of events, bringing people together, artists and like lawyers and, doctors. We really helped a lot of doctors during the pandemic. We were considered an essential business to get to work because otherwise, they couldn't get to work.
Mhm.
And that was pretty awesome. A lot of doctors were like, thank you for your service. Even though they would keep their bikes outside, we'd have to like wipe them down before they came in, wipe it down before we gave it back, with all this like Lysol and whatever we had, but wipe it down to make sure that we weren't cross-contaminating anyone and ourselves for that matter. So it was pretty cool.
Wow. I want to circle back a little bit to your beginning because how long were you even writing for before you came up with this concept for a community garage?
I was 34 years old, so I had been writing already for like 13 years.
Okay. Okay. So, and at that point, did you know how to do any maintenance or was just,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could do my oil change, my spark plugs, my general maintenance. I just didn't have a place to do it. And
Yeah.
so I would have to regularly go to that tire shop person and beg them to take my oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or travel with it to like AutoZone, and it would just be like, I got all this oil in my car. I'm afraid I'm gonna spill it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like people do it. That's what
Yeah.
they do. You got to get rid of it, and you're not gonna dump it in the sewer.
No.
Heck no, so I wanted to, again, provide a place where it would be convenient and the cost would be included in that convenience.
I love that you had this vision because it was very clear and then you executed on it. Like most people would have given up when they couldn't get the rents in Manhattan, right? Because we also know that they probably were very expensive at the time. They always are. When are they not? But kudos for following through on this vision. And now that you're in Brooklyn, did you move to a second place after that initial couple, or is that the building you're in right now?
So after that no lease situation, we wanted to clearly extend that and have that. It was a really great relationship, but they had their own vision for that building. And it was just while they were getting their permits to be able to, tear that down and create a residential building.
Wow.
So I was the interim client giving them money while they allowed my proof of concept. So it was a great relationship because I got what I needed, they got what they needed. It just lasted 1 year. And it was enough where we had filled up all of the spots at the time, and we were now ready for a more permanent space. And so we got our second sort of location, more permanent location, which was 117 Metropolitan, which is where we really, once again, sunk our teeth into. And we were at 117 for a very long time. That allowed Motorgrrl to hone in on the repair service, even though, again, we need owner permission to sort of build out.
Mhm.
A lot
Yeah.
of owners don't want you to do a second floor, don't want you to put anything on the walls, exhaust systems. They don't really want you to spend a lot of money because they don't know what they're going to do with that building.
Right.
So it's very clear that, having structured agreement is critical. But they're going to be like, look, after 10 years, we're not sure if we're going to renew you. We're not sure what we're going to do. So we don't really want you. And they're very clear. So you have to really consider those options and say, well, what can I do? How can I make a profit? How can I pay for people at a minimum or to the maximum that I could do it without going over the bounds of what your agreement is? So that can be challenging, especially if you want to grow your business,
Mhm.
so you have to sort of play with that. And so, we got caught up in that because of the gentrification happening here and the sales and the purchases of the new buildings really disallowed us to grow the way I really wanted to grow. So we were there for 10 years. We grew as best as we could within the time constraints. The rent was great, so we were able to move things forward. However, it did come to an end, similarly to the other place where they want to do a residential building. And now
Yeah.
that the zoning had changed, it was a lot easier for them to get the permits that they needed. And we were, again, their transition tenant, and they were our sort of uh, enabler to be able to continue to see where this concept can go to. But now we're at a building where they're not going to sell.
Great.
So
Great.
that's good.
Yeah.
And they've allowed us to build out certain things in the back there, which I can maybe take you there. We actually finally did a second floor.
Oh, really?
And
Oh, cool.
that's been something that I wanted to do since the beginning because it allows for an expansion per
Mhm.
se
Yeah.
without the increase. So you have a one-time fixed cost and then that's it. And so we utilize that section now to hold and host more of our storage vehicles, which allows us to have more full throttle members, which is great because the full throttle members are the members that, to me, are the most fun. I get to see them working on their bikes. I get to help them. Some people are more technical savvy. Some people are less technical savvy. Sometimes people help me. I help them. And I love that.
So can you clarify a little bit like how the structure is? Because you're still using the term community garage, but your business has a few different sectors. So maybe you can talk about what that is, like the full throttle and some of the other things that you're
Yeah. So back behind me over here along this row,
Yeah.
those are basically our full throttle members. So they have 24/7 access to the facility. They can work on their bikes, use the Motorgrrl tools, lifts, etc. Ask us questions, ask member questions, hang out with members, go riding with members. If they want to join a workshop, they can join a workshop. Everything is available to them. And then we have our storage, which is long-term storage, short-term storage, people who parents are in the hospital, they're going on vacation, they don't want to ride for a little while, whatever the case may be, they could be pregnant, etc. And so they don't want to ride. So we have our short, long-term storage. Then we have our full service repair department, anything and everything from vintage restorations to motor upgrades to general repair, performance upgrades, shop upgrades, insurance estimates, anything you would expect from a regular repair shop,
Okay.
tires, oil changes, etc. We're also a New York State inspection station, which kind of goes hand in hand with our service department. While not every repair shop is state certified,
Mhm.
we are. So we
Okay.
want to really take our business model to the next level. We're a DMV certified repair shop, and we want to really do things to the highest level, and so that is one of, I guess, one of our traits that we're known for, where, we're at a high level. I
Hmm.
guess you could
Hmm.
say that. And then, we're trying to build out our parts and accessories. That's kind of been a little bit of a challenge because we don't really have a lot of space. So we're trying to have a little storefront up in the front where we're curating our own sort of really cool products. But we can get you anything,
Right,
we just
right.
want to
Yeah.
really have like a curated. The thing is, it's really tough because I have a Harley. This person, one of my coworkers, has like a CBR 1000. Another one has like an adventure bike. So we could have myriad different things, but what really sells is
Right.
what we need to ask ourselves and sort of curate. We have a little section here for Harleys and another section here for Triumph. So, we struggle a little bit with that. So hopefully in the future, you'll see a little bit more of that
Hmm.
planned out better.
Have you seen a
Yeah.
difference over time with the type of motorcyclists that are showing up? You've been in business a long time, so
Yeah, and way back, I think I was here before even the newer Triumphs started, right? So
yeah.
as soon as the Triumphs, the new Triumphs came out, forget about it. There was just blown up. And they sold themselves. They still do.
Yeah.
Then you had your MV Augustas and your specialty bikes like the Husqvarnas, the KTMs. I think they're all great. I have my own opinions, but I'll reserve that for another conversation at another time. Uh, then, then you had the transition from the old school Harleys in the '70s to like the newer, where your feet are out, and the cruiser bikes and like not necessarily the ape hangers, but yeah, very cruisery. And then the baggers came out, the racing of the baggers, which was really cool. And then you had your cafe races were sort of always sort of there, but with the new products, they really upped the game, and nobody was doing a new cafe racer. Bike
Yeah.
as ifs came on the scene, and everybody wanted to be featured there, right?
Right, right, right. Now, I always like to ask that because you're based again in New York City, Brooklyn, and the bike culture is very specific. So it's interesting to hear what marks are popular, right?
Yeah.
Versus like if you were in Boston or you're in somewhere in New England, like it's going to be a different vibe or scene. So it's pretty cool.
I think it's across the board. If you
Mhm.
ask me, like adventure bikes are right now pretty hot.
Yeah,
Dirt bike riding in the last few years with the Babes in the Dirt and Over and Out Moto has become more popular. And I've met amazing women who
yeah,
do amazing things in that realm. And it's just really awesome. So to watch it grow into, and I have a dirt bike,
that's right.
I
Yeah,
do. Yeah, I do want an adventure bike in
yeah.
my collection.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean? So,
and I ask everybody this: how many motorcycles do you own?
oh gosh, an insane amount, more than I want.
It's a good thing you've got that
If I,
storage.
yeah, I've got my dirt bike, this Indian MV Augusta, my Harley, which is right there, my Triumph. You can't really see it, but it's right here that I'm finished working on. It's way overdue. I've got two Harleys. I've got a lot. More. I'd say more than 10.
I love it. It's good because this way you can express all sides of your personality.
Yes, I used to say that when I ride my vintage bike, I have my vintage with my vintage crew. I've got my vintage. If I'm
Yeah.
going with my sport bike crew, I've got my sport bike. If I've got my cruiser, I've got my Harley. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to utilize my bikes when necessary, if necessary.
Now you guys put the emphasis on the community. So I've seen through following you guys on social media that sometimes you'll put rides together or you guys have like a block party. How's that created a good community?
I think it's awesome. It brings in artists, social media influencers who want to sort of break into the community and share their visions and share their pictures and share their experiences. I love it when they come in and then they go off on their own. This one young lady at Meet, she's awesome. She rides a Husqvarna and she's been to a lot of our events, I would say. And now I follow her religiously. And she's like, well, what's the difference between this and this? And she gives her own opinion. And everybody criticizes her. And I think she's doing great. I'm like, why? This is her own opinion. Why rip it down? There's no reason. You can have yours and you can do the same thing. So do
Yeah.
it, you know?
There's room at the table.
Yeah. So I like bringing people together because I like to one meet people, get to learn about what they're doing. I've met like a scientist right now. We have a guy who works at the Brooklyn BA's office. He rides to work every day and he's so cool. We have like the best time together. And we just recently did a ride together, him and his wife and me and a couple of friends. And it's just so much fun to get to meet people from all walks of life and just come together and have a common theme of motorcycles and riding, and it's just so much fun. And then people just meet people, and like we had a young girl who traveled all around the world, the United States, and she's like, oh, I remember coming to one of your parties. I want to stop by and say hi, and we had such a great time. Are you having any other parties soon? uh yeah.
It's
So it's
great.
great when that happens. Or people traveling from abroad and then they'll buy a bike here in the United States. They'll utilize our garage to be able to like do their final oil changes, wash their bike, and then resell them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
very creative in the way they want to use the Motorgrrl garage. So I think I love it. I love how creative they are. It inspires me to have more ideas, which I
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think that's what I really like about the community aspects of it is that we're really open to a lot of different ideas.
Speaking of that, and you've got
Speaking of
new
that,
ideas, is there anything that you can share about where you wanna go or that there's or are you keeping it
uh, I can't, yeah, there's really nothing to sort of disclose right now. Or say we want to really hone in on some of our workshops. We really want to, there's a bunch of shops that now are sort of doing some similar things with some specialties. So we want to really just hone in on what we do best
Mm.
and increase our social media presence. That's hard for me,
Yeah.
social media. So I'm always looking. I love and hate social media.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Believe me, don't we all? Yeah.
And it's important for us to do, and we're always looking for talented people, and we've met some talented people, and we appreciate them, and they come in and they do an amazing job for us, Miss Daddy being one of them, Zoss, and then we've had Daniela. We've had some really great people that we've worked with, and they're all amazing. We're looking for more amazing, talented social media people. So recently, one of the things that I can tell you is we've expanded our internship program with a school right next door to us. They just called me today, which is the reason why I was late to this call. And they want this one young 14-year-old who goes to automotive high school, sort of on his own, came to Motorgrrl and says, hey, I want to be your intern. And we're like, interviewed him. We're like, okay, you seem like you're independent. You're 14, but you've got a good head on your shoulder. And even though when you're 14, you kind of like test the waters. He definitely tested the waters and had to be like, and but it depends on how you're not going to reprimand him in front of everyone. You're just going to say, hey, look, do you consider uh, the work that you do high risk? And you have to put it into perspective so that they can really start thinking about the fact that this is a high risk environment. And the last thing we need is somebody going to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody needs that.
Yeah, nobody needs it.
No,
Nobody.
no.
So they'll test the waters, especially when I'm not here.
Was it as when the cat is away, the mice will play?
Yeah, and my guys, they don't really know, what he's allowed or not allowed to do. So they'll give me the report when I get back, and I'd be like, oh no. So for a while there, he was disallowed to come in while I was not here, which sort of, again, you're putting that boundary line. You're
Yeah.
saying, hey,
Yeah.
so, no one but me is responsible for you.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you better shape up. And then there were times where, I wasn't sure if his parents would know if he's here or not. And his dad would call and I'd be like, he's not here. He left already. You don't know that? What?
Oh, it's so
And
great.
so,
Yeah.
and so I was like, dude, you need to have your parents sign off on your time.
Yeah.
And if you need to leave early, your parents must, you're 14.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
responsible for you. God forbid something should happen. You're supposed to be, but I don't know that you're there. So we had to hone that in. And so, but he's a
He's growing up
really,
with
really,
you, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a real, yeah, and I'm sort of his mentor, and I have to
Yeah.
like sort of say, no, you can't do that to that bike. That's a 2-stroke bike. No way, it's not a 4-stroke. It's a 6-volt engine, electrical system. You need a 6-volt headlight. A 12-volt LED is not going to work.
I love though that you guys have internships because this, to get people into the moto industry, like it's so important to also share this knowledge and have it trickle down. He's only going to learn, right? Unless he's working on the bike versus like
He
learning it in school.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not at the level where he can, I think, from what I understand, do the 3-hour automotive. But I think
Okay.
because he's here,
Yeah.
he's now going to be given like special privileges. So our intern, as I said, they don't work, or he does not work on customer motorcycles.
Yeah.
So we'll give him a bike to practice on. That is one of my bikes, and
You really are taking your life in your hands.
yeah, it's one of my bikes, and I'll say to him, he'll work maybe with one of our team technicians who are certified, and I'll give him like a 2-3 hours in the afternoon, and they're working on my bike to potentially sell. He gets his hands dirty. He'll take on a specific task. Let's say in this example, it'll be take off the wheel, which he can do now. He can easily do a tire change front and rear, change brake pads front and rear. So he's coming along, but it's going to be on my bike where we test it. We get to look at it. We'll go over it like a gazillion times before we sell it. So those are the types of bikes that they get to sell. My people are coming back
Okay.
to work, so it might get a little hairy
Okay.
because I am in the center, but we'll let
That's
them
okay.
come back in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
That's awesome. Okay. So in addition to that, like this kind of parlays into, you mentioned workshops. So what kind of workshops do you offer?
right now we only offer one, the 101 maintenance. It's one that we feel most people would benefit from. It includes an oil change. So to have an oil change class is not that informative. It's only one sort of flat. But if we're teaching how to check your brakes, how to check your tire pressure, what it should be set at, what does dry rot mean? Do you have any exposed cords? Which some people do. Low tread, how to measure low tread, changing your fluids, checking your spark plugs, hearing how the motor sounds, the idle, is it too high, too low, et cetera, and anything that would be in your first stage maintenance. So lubricate the pivot points, check your chain tension, lubricate your chain, belt if it's a Harley Davidson or a belt driven vehicle. If it's shaft drive, change to gear oil, primary oil. We will print out the service maintenance. We ask everyone to bring in the manuals so that if they have a specific question on their bike, our team can answer it. We also are probably over prepared for everyone to come in. The classes are small.
Okay.
So, but they're a lot of fun. You have to come to one.
Well, I was just gonna ask, so like, do you have to be part of the garage or can anybody go?
Being part of the garage allows you to have us utilize your bike. So it'll be super discounted for you to get like a tune-up. So that's one of the advantages, is that we like to use our member base for these projects. They get to come to the workshop for free. There's like a bunch of amenities. We, obviously, we're a Motul sponsored shop. So we get a lot of free oil, which we then offer to our members, give away to the people that are coming to the workshops. If we have anything left over, it's, we really try and give back as much as we can to the community.
That's fantastic. So if you're not in the community, you could just pay a fee to do the workshop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Open to everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. I forgot to say that.
Oh, that's okay. That make it super clear because I know people after watching this are going to be, knocking down the door. Let's hope.
I hope so. We have 2 workshops coming up in December, and then we'll be working on our 2025 winter schedule.
Okay.
I didn't want to put everything out. I wanted to get feedback and see if people are requesting a 102 versus a 101 class and workshop. So I want to talk to our team and look at what that looks like.
It is very clear that you're an excellent businesswoman. And
Thank you.
yeah, like, the way you've grown the business, and even just the small thing about the workshop to, not invest too much before you have proved out that the ideas work or getting
Yeah.
customer feedback. Like, that's huge. And a lot of people overlook that in businesses. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of shops go out of business over the years.
Oh my gosh, the latest one, Harley Davidson. Can't believe it. Everyone's in shock.
Really?
Harley Davidson NYC closed
I
its
didn't know
store
that.
September 18th, 2004.
Wow.
So we are now specialized. We have a great technician here. He just passed by, where we are taking more and more Harley Davidsons. So
Oh, I didn't even know that. They
we
were there forever. Yeah.
Miracle Mile went down. Now this one went down. Like the Miracle Mile was like the shop to go to. It had amazing positive reviews. I think they tried to take over the one in Long Island City, but I don't know anything. I don't want to say anything that I don't know that's incorrect, but it is sad to see. And I think that, again, these types of shops where we share ideas, share information, you can save money because you're doing your own repairs. You're also maintaining the resale value of your vehicle by keeping it indoors. That's huge. I've got a couple bikes in here that I haven't ridden over 10 years that I can sell for top dollar.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point, because it doesn't take long for a bike to start to deteriorate outside. In one winter.
Yeah, and it's sad, because we deal with it all the time when people don't want to even bring it in for winter storage. If it's a vintage vehicle, the front brakes could seize, rear brakes could seize. Now, as opposed to spending the money for the winter storage and having a bike ready to roll, you have to spend the money that you would have for the storage now on repairing the bike, and your bike's not ready.
Right.
So double whammy.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, you pretty much work all year. Do you take any time off yourself to go out and ride? I mean, you've got all these bikes. Are you making the time? Are you not working?
I try, and I'm fortunate enough to have a really amazing team, and without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do at a high level, and also have, which I also believe that they should have as well, which is a work-life balance. So we try and really come together on those points. We have someone here who is ready to have a family, so we believe in paid family leave. Obviously, that's very important to me, and to help all, not just one of our employees, but all of our employees improve and have better lives. Get back there. More people.
Get back to work, people.
No, this is Ahmed. He's one of our clients who came in. Say hi, Ahmed.
Let's say hi.
Yeah, Ahmed, what came in for you today? What parts? And your license plate, flippy thing. Oh, that's the sales head. And who's working on it? Yeah, so, he knows that we're here to help him out. So
that's awesome.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Our master, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. We're coming a little bit to the end here with this, but you had mentioned something before we started, which is that you guys are running a promotion for the winter. What is that?
Yeah, we have perhaps the best promotion going on right now, which is buy tires at MSRP and get a free install that is balanced and installed, test ridden, all that good stuff. It'll come with the caveat that you do need to be careful for the first 100 miles so that the tire breaks in. But it is a really amazing deal. Free installation, front and rear, or just front or just rear. Scooters are okay to do, but we've got to make sure that it's a fit. So there are limitations. Call us to ask. There's no back orders. Got to be in stock. Okay. And yeah, that's basically it. We'll extend it and have it for as long as we can. And hopefully people can jump in on the action.
I love it. So to find out all about this, would they just go to your website?
They can. They can also give us a call or email us. Kareem and I are standing by. I forgot to mention this thing.
What is that? The Vision Ride Pro? What is it?
This is a new product to market.
Okay. I haven't heard of it yet.
You haven't, because it's brand new.
Oh.
And we are the
breaking
news. We are the exclusive installers to this. So this is like for bikes like a Harley Davidson, vintage ones that don't have the big screens on them. So this comes with front and back cameras, as well as a TPS system. So if your tires are low, it'll warn you. It's also has like CarPlay, so you can connect it Bluetooth to your ears, navigation system. So it's like a console for your bike, essentially. and we're giving it away for free
Oh,
with just the installation cost. So this is opposite of the tire deal.
okay.
So we're trying to keep it in a little bit of fresh sort of services and sales.
Mhm.
So this, we're gonna come out with like a little promo and video to sort of showcase what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like a console for your motorcycle.
Okay, I have a question
And
about you mentioned a front and back camera. So is that video recording
you
for,
recording
I don't know, for like
for safety,
okay, okay. Okay.
for social media content,
Okay. That's
for
impressive.
getting pulled over.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I get it. Especially in
You know what
Brooklyn.
I you
Okay.
know, if you don't have a tachometer or a speedometer, you can add something here that can help you with those types of things,
Okay.
and it's just like pretty cool. You can Bluetooth it in, you can see if there's a call coming in, cancel it. You can see if there's a text message, cancel it, and just be ready for the next thing. So a lot of the times, when I had, and this gets connected to your sort of ignition system. So when you turn the bike on and off, it automatically shuts off
Oh, that's
and it
great.
doesn't drain any of your battery. So in my last ride to New England, specifically Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Hmm.
Sure, I said that wrong, but okay.
You said it right.
Yeah, my phone wire sort of was like hanging by a thread. And so it wasn't charging my phone anymore. Wasn't sure if I was going to get to the location. So you don't have to worry with something like this because it's not, you're not removing the plug. It's permanent.
Oh,
It's
okay.
and it's internally wired. And so it makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to unplug it, plug it, and it charges automatically, et cetera, et cetera. So there's no extra stuff that you need to worry about. So
Okay.
this is brand new to market. You're the first to know
I
about it.
love it. I love it. I got to get this video
Yeah,
out ASAP.
so yeah, and appreciate again you allowing us the opportunity to showcase this on your podcast. So
Thanks.
thank you.
Yeah, it's super fun. And I
Super
just learned
fun.
something new today, which is always my favorite.
Yay for us.
All right.
Very cool.
What I'll do is make sure that, of course, all that information is in the show notes.
I
And
appreciate that.
yeah, Val, it's awesome to connect with you. I haven't seen you in a bit, so this is really cool.
We look forward to hanging out soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe going on a ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, appreciate you.
Likewise. Yep.
And, let's do this again.
All right, sounds good. And to everybody else, ride smart. Ciao.